the pressure advantage for his team in lane. He'll be shoving the other mid laner out. He does have kill pressure with it, but hasn't quite been there on the other, sort of more backline, as he said, mages that we've seen from him.
Where was he looking recently? That Ahri, the Victor, Lulu's in the mid lane as well?
Yeah.
Probably won't be getting that too much more.
I don't think Lulu will get through very often. See, some teams
or as they said, ban the Kog,
decide to ban out the Kog'Maw.
Right.
And that's the thing. People are like, oh, Kog'Maw's not that big a deal, just ban out the Lulu and things that work with him. There are so many things that you can use to protect a Kog'Maw. Janna, Braum, Morgana, there are so many things. And if you just get a front line that has CC, all you need are some stuns and any actual support, and it can work. So I do favor the throwing a ban at Kog'Maw rather than trying to target the other things, but that does mean Lulu's up. And regardless, Lulu plus something like Lucian is still very formidable as well.
Right. This also, I hope, opens up a window for Kirei, where we see that Elise being such a good pick for him. Maybe that Gragas was somewhere in his champion pool along the way, and maybe that's what he picks up, because he's already against the aggression of Moon's early Nidalee. But they go for the Lulu, the Kalista. Still two good picks for Dignitas.
All right, definitely a strong second round here. People have been pretty iffy on the early Nidalee picks, but there has been a lot of success, especially recently in the last couple of weeks, with top-tier junglers grabbing Nidalee. Now, Moon has not had a lot of success in the North American LCS, though, and this is one of the guys that NRG are looking at to have a more standout performance, step up to the plate, hit one of the new guys on the team, not only improve on the communication with the rest of the team, but also the early playmaking. Now, mousing over Evelynn, I think that's just going to be a switch. Technically, you could have a lane Nidalee, as it's been maybe 2-3 years since we've seen one, but technically, I guess you could do it.
It's been a while. We will see. Also, you were saying Moon's play recently with the team or with the whole team in that communication, where as Nidalee, you can stay on the outside, throw the spears in. You're not questioning whether you have to dive in with the team. Kind of more of a clear role for him there, so maybe that will ease things in that sense.
One of the things that I am a little bit worried about is that Nidalee, a huge part of her power is taking over the early game and going to transfer that into jungle invades and looking to kill the other jungler, and that does require a lot of support, managing with your lanes when they shove up so you can invade and stuff like that. But you're right, Nidalee has a lot of, hops. She can get out of jail free quite often, very mobile, so let's see.
Staying alive comp we got over here from Dignitas, the Wild Growth, the Tempered Fate, and now Lamb's Respite. That's a lot of ways to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, last time that we saw Kirei on Kindred, I think is all the way back to the game where they played NRG and he got blown up by GBM on the Victor without having the timing to pop his ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
And the game where GBM stole Baron twice versus them. But it looks like he wants some redemption here. This is a good chance for Kirei to prove his Kindred, because I know a lot of people in solo queue really fear when Kirei does get, these early invade junglers and these offensive junglers like Kindred as well as Elise.
And maybe that's the kind of play he needs to put forward. Don't temper yourself at all. Take away all the measures.
You got to be very quick with the ultimate, though. I say don't be safe with it, especially since GBM has already handed your
all right, Karma and
to you,
Poppy.
We'll say.
This looks like it's going to now be a Karma mid.
GBM, all right. I would definitely hang my hat on the Karma mid right now, just because it is GBM. I think they put Nidalee in the jungle and Poppy top. But you're very correct here to leave the door open, as many of those are flexible picks. But that would just be my guess.
That's exactly what chat was talking about. Just the composition where you don't have any idea. Up to 20 seconds once the final pick on Dignitas comes, and we will know. But what does Dig round out with here? This is kind of like, what do you feel okay playing against top when you don't know what it is, BillyBoss?
Well, like I said, I think they will kind of assume that it is the Poppy top. And Trundle is something that he's already taken into that matchup, and a lot of people really do like the Trundle into Poppy matchup, just because Poppy does have so many base stats that you can steal away with Trundle. And it is good, sort of, it is one of the very few good lane matchups versus Poppy. I'm still kind of questioning the overall comp here from Dig. They have a lot of tools. It's just that they're going to need that coordination to pull this off because, as we've seen, a couple, even milliseconds misstep here with something like Kindred, Lulu, and as well the Kalista can mean that your team fight crumbles around you. But if they do have the timing with this, it's a very, very solid team comp here for Team Dignitas as far as the team fighting goes. GBM, though, throwing another curveball here to the North American LCS, bringing back the Karma mid, which Bjergsen put on display last year and got a pentakill with.
Right. I remember, Trevor was here casting that. He took it away. But anyway, don't keep your predictions a secret. We don't. Put them on Twitter for all the world to see. Send your picks to @LOL Esports. Either the hashtag NRG win or the hashtag DIG win. We will calculate your votes and put them on the beautiful big screen as we get on to the Rift and into the game. We are 6 weeks in now. Very close to the end of the spring split, and teams need all the wins they can get right now. We're NRG versus Dignitas, and we're on the Rift.
I like this second half where we start to get the rematches and people look for revenge because last time around, Team Dignitas and Kirei definitely had some unfortunate events in the game which caused them to lose control. See if they can hold on this time around. Like I said, I mean, Lulu plus Kalista and Kindred means there are many options for Shiphtur once they transition into teamfight phase as far as, you know, who to save, who to buff up. And it is going to need that communication because sometimes you'll see a Lulu ultimate pop down on this exact same time that a Kindred ultimate goes down on somebody, and then they burn through the extra health anyway, even though nobody can be killed. But we'll see if they can pull it off.
It's always super hard. Or personal preference, I'll always say for the person to use it first, and then I'll use my safety. But like you're saying, when you have more than 2 or 3, and there's so many to pile on, it becomes messy.
And I definitely think it's better for everyone to use their life-saving abilities than for nobody to use them. I'd be like, I thought you had me, bro, right? No, you, no, me? Okay.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. Because at least then you save your life for a short period of time rather than someone just dying.
We've actually seen that. I think it was Seth Garen and Bjergsen and Zillion Kindred.
We are at the moment getting the blind lane swap here from Team Dignitas.
And it looks good. Up
to the top side. They did walk all the way around that Tribush ward too, so they are going to get this invade off with the 3-man invade. Wonder if Kiwi will be in front so that he can try and land a stun. They are going to see him now.
Interesting. Dig getting aggressive a little early. Won't hurt Moon too much. Moon's by himself. Impact's going to try to soak up some CS top lane here. But he won't have long to do it as KiWiKiD's going to back up to help him. Pushed in is Shiphtur, so he can't get anywhere. You see GBM using as many spells as he can, but that lane won't be going too far either way once Shiphtur can clear it out with Glitter Lance. Slow early start with the lane swap. We'll see how the junglers take to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the mid lane, which is going to be the lane with the most trading usually. Ooh, BillyBoss going to get a level 1 versus 2 on Moon here, even though he has the health advantage, the extra level, plus the fact that it's Nidalee. Means that you're going to have to run away because Nidalee has support here. KonKwon coming in. But yeah, the mid lane is just going to be 2 support champions, technically. And a lot of shields and farming. Don't think there will be any kills anytime soon coming from that mid lane. Unless we have some 4 or 5-man conversions. As of right now, though, the lane swap, once NRG were alerted, I have just defaulted into the standard push here, and they'll catch right back up. Moon's going to catch up in the jungle. It looks like doing just fine.
Look at that smorgasbord of keys.
Ah, yeah.
So nice.
Diversity. The rainbow of keystones.
So fantastic.
All right. Scuttle Crab on the bottom side for Kirei is the only thing a little bit unfortunate for him, but can't control that. And Moon's going to be happy to take that one away. Pretty much everything has evened out. Everybody going with the safe side jungling. And it's a standard clear, so solo gold being given to both top laners, and both of them setting up the freeze. BillyBoss actually, no, yeah, he's just pruning.
Making sure it stays
with it.
Well, now opens things up. Wards are down, have to be pushed forward a little bit more so everybody on the side lanes can stay safe here. And you can already see that happening on the top side of the jungle as Dignitas has gotten those early wards in. Top side now for Altec and KonKwon to start pushing that wave out. I think this is going to be a real slow one, Kobe.
Yeah, we are at least entering kind of an exciting period for me is when the supports get their first big roam on. After you recall from the tower pushes, you have a brief moment where there's a lot of fog of war on the map, and the supports get to go influence. But both supports actually just walked over wards. Kiwi walked over the Scuttle Crab, and KonKwon walked over a deep lane ward. So all that mystery is gone, and both teams will play safely. Both top laners backing off. The only real wrinkle here is actually that Kirei is going for a deep invade, and he might tag Impact. You're it.
He's been out. He could use something. He's been out of lane, falling behind a little bit in CS here as he's going back and forth and hasn't really gotten anything to farm, and now might have to spend a little bit more time off the map. It looks like he may be able to soak something up in the jungle, but could definitely use a few waves as top turret being pressured hard now by NRG.
Yeah.
Seeing that pressure bottom.
A fairly significant chunk, but you know, nothing significant will come of it, even though it was a large portion of health.
He's doing a lot of walking, that's for sure. Towards the top side now, but on Poppy this game, we questioned Champions he was being put on for the factor of being the carry for the team. Now possibly with that Poppy, if you can get going on it, can be that strength the teams needs once they get into the fight with KonKwon.
It's actually, yeah, it is kind of deceptive how people consider Karma extremely low damage as far as mid laners go. She actually has quite a lot of burst for the early and mid game. It's only kind of very late that she does really fall off. And the utility that she brings is similar to Lulu, except that she can buff up the whole team with her giant shield speed. See if that does matter, because everyone will kind of charge in behind Impact on the Poppy. They've got him sort of to lead it. Standard turret trades after the lane swap, and both AD carry support duos once again swapping back here. We also have, again, one of those brief periods where the supports get that small window to roam around through the fog of war, mostly on warding missions. KonKwon, mission success, gets to take down a pink.
Pings towards the top side by KiWiKiD here as he grabs up some chimes. Looks like he's going to go too far for it.
Yeah. So you can see that both of the teams are opting to play safe. Right here, you can try and make a call to utilize Bard's extreme mobility and try and, you know, maybe set up a risky play where you go for a magical journey and bring the jungler along with you. But that would cost Kirei a lot of time and experience that he is right now just farming camps, which is guaranteed money, guaranteed experience. Whereas going for a sort of a risky play and relying on Bard's mobility and the timing to try and snag a first blood is definitely a lot lower chance of succeeding.
Just living in each other's jungles from this lane swap on as it should be.
Go for the big steal here. Nope.
Got me all excited.
I mean, he doesn't have smite, but GBM doesn't know that.
Mantraed over. If
GBM knew he didn't have smite, probably would have stuck around and waited for a better angle there. But
so here's a 6 for Kirei. This is big. His ultimate's now up. They could decide to do something to Impact under the turret at level 4, so he has no way to really clear himself out. Already starting to pinch him in, and it looks like even turret trades once again with pressure on both sides of the map. These teams are pretty much in a gentleman's agreement right now.
It's interesting because NRG are making the call. They try to use the Ezreal ultimate to take down the minion wave and stall out Team Dignitas. They were already a little bit ahead, and the extra damage from True Shot Barrage on the minion wave did help delay that turret take. NRG definitely far ahead here.
Of course they are. You have speed up from Moon on his heal, and Altec can also use Essence Flux to speed everybody up as well.
Yeah, both Moon.
For the attack,
yeah,
rather.
Exactly. They can both speed each other up.
Makes those turrets fall just a little bit faster, even if they don't have tons of damage. And now you can see a pink, or rather regular ward placed in there to keep eyes on GBM as Shiphtur went to back in his lane.
Yeah, I don't think the True Shot Barrage had... I'm going to rewind and see if that was the determining factor. I don't think it was. I think that NRG already had the lead in turret damage without it. But yeah, definitely did help, and you do see a little bit of Ezreal's global impact.
A few pings around the map. Looks like it's safety and assistance pings for NRG, so they're looking to clear these waves, set something up for themselves. I'm sure that Kirei would love to start getting a few of these marks on the other side of the map for him.
All right. Pink ward clearing going on around Dragon. Little bit of deep vision here for Team Dignitas as they try to set up and reclaim some territory on this bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, pretty even as far as the farm distribution as well.
Yeah.
Really the only significant difference, I guess, is the 10 CS lead here for GBM in the mid lane. And they've actually, he's just recalled and moved out. Altec coming in to take some of it. So that discrepancy is actually getting even smaller. All right, here's a teleport play.
Oh, hello. Impact. Steadfast presence goes on. Apollo looks like he's going to make a good bit of distance before anything happens. BillyBoss throws it down just for a bit of deterrent. I don't think he needed to do so, but he stays at the top.
So at first, it's a teleport traded for a flash, which is but they did get a big chunk on Apollo, which really significantly reduces the map pressure that Team Dignitas have. And then the extra teleport being triggered there for Team Dignitas means it's 100% win for NRG holistically there for them as they come out ahead on cooldowns as well as picking up the Dragon, and pretty quick transition into a mid lane tower push here. This is going to go down.
BillyBoss also has what would have been a bunch of waves that he could have TP'd back to. Now he's going to be forced to have that sit right in front of the turret and miss a few. Coming down to protect mid, but this poke right now that NRG's able to formulate in front of the turret is not good for Dignitas.
Yeah, pretty standard setup here for them. They also have the heals from Alistar to supply their siege. And the front line, Impact and KonKwon don't actually have to do much. Just wait for their other three members of the team to throw out the poke under turret, slowly whittle it down. Front line just wait around defensively.
I think KonKwon being 5 is keeping them safe here. They would be way under the turret real quick. No level 6 on the Alistar is keeping them safe, keeping them smart about this, and they're getting as much damage as they can without going too hard.
Oh, big chunks onto Apollo. And that takes the heart of Team Dignitas' team fighting out of the mix, and taking away pretty much all of the threat here. And NRG are doing a very good job playing to their poke comp, getting that early lead that you look for with the early power gold. So 2 extra turrets, not only because they won that side lane basically DPS check as everybody committed to the tower pushing on the up.